Well, something that's also been an interesting development just in terms of the political winds in the West is that both Nigel Farage in the UK and Trump recently has stated that, well, the cause of this war is NATO expansion. And it seems like that's been received quite positively from, that's actually been a good position to take. Is that your analysis as well? What do you think about Trump and Farage making these statements?
Right. Well, I think probably within their, respective populations, yeah, I think a lot of people believe that, um, and or are open to that idea. Within their respective elites, establishments, definitely no, this is outrageous. You can't say this. Um, Now, in the case of Trump, yeah, he said it. Actually, he sounded almost like a John Mearsheimer, just maybe 40 IQ points lower, but he was kind of
Bring more
laying
of
out
them.
his position. He was, I'm not saying that he was, he just, how he talks, but what he
Yeah.
said was true, and he demonstrated a basic understanding of what happened, and that's great. It's just unfortunately Trump is just not reliable, so I just refuse to get excited about it. And he said that that's wonderful, but will he back it up? I think almost certainly not. We'll probably have Mike Pompeo back in there, or somebody like that, and there won't be
Well,
any
we'll
change
we'll
in
see.
policy.
We'll
But at
see. I
least
don't know.
just the fact that he says this, it's good.
I
It gets out
I'm
there
just
and
going to
people hear it.
I'm just going to say, yeah, I think he's surrounding himself with some better people, obviously Vivek. But for example, where he said that, I listened to this podcast, the All In podcast. It's with David Sachs, who has been on the Duran. I think you've probably heard David Sachs on the Duran before.
Mm.
And Duran, he's a big listener to the Duran. But David Sachs had this giant fundraiser for Trump. And it seems like, he has Trump's ear a little bit. And David Sachs is very smart when it comes to these
Mm.
issues. He basically has the same positions and come to the same conclusions that we have. Um,
Uh-huh.
and it, and he had Trump on his podcast.
Okay, well that's
So
good.
it, that just the fact that somebody like David Sachs has his ear is a slightly reassuring, but of course, how many people have his ear and are
Right.
competing? And it seems
Yeah,
like
because
Trump,
right.
his
Yeah.
policy depends on who he talked to last.
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly right. That's exactly right. He probably, he was talking to David Sachs, and yeah, I'm just going to be very cynical and say that if Trump is reelected, and it looks like he probably will be, that we won't see a significant change in policy. It'll be the same thing. We'll just have some more entertainment. Well, a different kind of entertainment from what we're having now. But
yeah. Oh
I,
man,
I really
another.
wish. No, I'd love to be proven wrong. I really hope. Maybe if we I'll wait until I see some of the appointments, starting with the vice presidential one. That's supposed to come up within a few days, I think,
Yeah, he
maybe at the
says he
debate.
selected him. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right. That should give us a sense of where he's going.
right. I mean, I heard JD Vance is in the running, as well as Vivek. I think both of those people could really maybe
Uh-huh.
make a difference.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
see.
Vivek, especially J.D. Vance, occasionally does, step out and dissent, on foreign policy. Maybe he doesn't. He's very cautious about it, but he does dissent from time to time. It's in a significant way.
Hmm. Right. He had a paper that he published. I think it was posted in the Post or something about just the math doesn't add up with this war
Yeah.
with Russia.
Right.
That we just
Right.
simply don't have the capability to produce the munitions. So what are we doing
Right.
here?
Yeah. No,
Which
no,
I
it's
think
important to have people
level
that
of
have
realism.
who have a grip on reality. And, that's what we don't have right now. So that would be a step in the right direction if you had somebody like
Mm,
J.D. Vance in office.
okay. Yeah, it's good. I think this is going to be a very interesting week. We're going to have, I think, a response from Russia soon for what happened in Crimea.